Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. I've got another book haul today. It's another monthly book haul. So these are all the books that I got back in December. I got a lot of romances as usual. I got some exciting arcs, some special editions that I bought for myself, a book box. But before I get into everything, I do want to share that I have a sponsor for today's video. Today's video is sponsored by Book of the Month. A Book of the Month is a book box subscription. You buy a credit every month and you can use that credit to get any of their 5 new releases in hardcover. If you happen to not like any of the selections for that month, you can save your credit and skip the month. So a great thing about Book of the Month is that they are risk-free, but their selections are always great. They have a wide range of different genres. For January's promo, you can get your first hardcover in this blue box for $9.99 using the code Let's Go. Here are the January selections. These are the 5 hardcovers that you can choose from. This first one is my pick. It's the romance pick. It is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. It's a rivals to lovers foodie romance that takes place on a cooking show, and the main characters are contestants. This one is Fiona and Jane by Jean Chen Ho. It's a collection of short stories about 2 young Taiwanese American women. It's a coming-of-age book about these 2 characters. This is Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins. It's a mystery murder. These 6 20-something-year-olds, they go to this island for an adventure, but instead end up getting murdered. This is The Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis, which is historical fiction. It's set in the early 1900s in New York City about this very wealthy Frick family. And this 5th and last book is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. It's about 2 siblings whose mother has just passed away and she's left them with an inheritance, a traditional Caribbean black cake recipe, and it's through this and their late mother that these 2 siblings reconnect. And the new add-on for the month, which you can use a credit to add on to your box, it is The Maid by Anita Prose. It's another mystery. The heroine works as a hotel maid and she ends up becoming a lead suspect because a wealthy man in one of her rooms ends up getting murdered. So those are all the January books that you can choose from. Don't forget you can join Book of the Month for $9.99 using the code Let's Go. And of course a big thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. And back to my haul. I wanted to start off with the book box that I got. I'm a rep for the Bookish box. You can use my code Lacey for $5 off anything from their shop, excluding special editions, but you can get $5 off like their merch and their boxes. Their October adult box recently came. Shipping has been crazy everywhere, so they have been delayed, but October finally came and it's got these 2 books. This is Once More Upon a Time by Roshni Chokshi and No Words by Meg Cabot. October's theme was cuffing season, so there were some cozy items in the box like these slippers. There's some books printed on these fluffy slippers. There's this candle. It says tonic or toxin, and I believe it was inspired by the 4 Horsemen series by Laura Thalassa. There's also this mug warmer. It's a heating pad to keep your drinks warm, a whole candle care kit, and this is the t-shirt. The design is inspired by A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. It says Magic is Desire Made Real. And then for the books that I got, I think this haul is something like over 40 books, but I got these 3 very exciting arcs from Avon. This is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. It's a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. It's a rom-com. The hero is a doctor and the host of the Dr. Dill show, which is very much giving me Dr. Phil vibes. But the couple here, they go viral after this argument, and in order to get some funding, the hero has to prove to the heroine that he is her soulmate. I got one of my most anticipated reads of the year. It's The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. This is the standalone spin-off of The Worst Best Man. It's about the best friend of the hero from The Worst Best Man. It's got the fake dating trope. The heroine crashes the hero's arranged wedding. He was supposed to enter this marriage of convenience to look better for work, to get promoted at work, and he ends up instead in a fake relationship with the heroine because he pretends that he's in love with her. So this one sounds like so much fun. I love The Worst Best Man and I'm so excited for Dean's book. And I, for some reason, ended up with a second copy, a second ARC copy of Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I already read it. I read Fox and Hannah's book and it was really adorable. I didn't love it quite as much as it happened one summer, but it was still cute. But the second copy is definitely going to be given away on my Instagram sometime. And I also got this arc from Berkeley. It's Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. It sounds like it's a debut romance. It's got a second chance romance set at this lake house. This one isn't out for a while. It's not out until May 10th. I also got a couple new releases from Berkeley. This is The Love Con by Ceresia Glass. It's got the cutest cover. It's a romance about cosplay. It's got friends to lovers and fake dating. The heroine joins this cosplay reality show competition and she asks her best friend to pretend to be her fake boyfriend for the show. I'm actually going to be starting this one soon. My hold at my library just came in, so I'm excited. I also got this beautiful special edition of Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I love this alien romance. This one and book 2 are my favorites of the series, and this one is The Accidental Odyssey by Casey Dyer. The heroine, she's supposed to plan for her wedding, but instead she decides to take a journey halfway around the world to go to her sick father. She doesn't go alone though. There is a classics professor who goes along with her because he wants to retrace Odysseus's famous voyage, so these two are just sailing around the Mediterranean. This one is Bold Fortune by M.M. Crane. It's a romance set in the wilds of Alaska, if you couldn't tell from this very snowy cover. I got this historical romance from Mary Ballow, Someone Perfect. It's part of the Westcott series. It's got the best friend's brother trope and maybe enemies to lovers. The hero is an earl and his sister hates him, but after the death of his mother, he decides to take responsibility of his sister who doesn't like him, and her best friend can see exactly why. And this one is the new Christine Feehan book, Annihilation Road, which is part of her Torpedo Inc. series, which honestly I'm not sure is paranormal romance or not. It's definitely a biker romance series, but I don't know if there's a paranormal aspect to it. The book doesn't really say anything about that, so I guess I'm just gonna assume it's a biker romance. The hero, he's this killer, and the heroine, who's a stranger, she ends up saving his life. I still haven't read more of Christine Feehan since I read Dark Prince. That one's like the first book in her popular paranormal romance series, but I do own a bunch of books in this series, so maybe I will eventually get to it. I also got the complete set of the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy that her publisher sent me, a publisher, Bloom Books. They recently picked up this series. So I got book 1, The Deal, Garrett and Hannah's book, book 2, The Mistake, Logan and Grace's, which is my favorite, book 3, The Score, which is Dean and Allie's book, book 4, The Goal, Tucker and Sabrina, and the epilogue book, which is about all 4 couples, it's The Legacy. So these ones have the new covers for the Off-Campus series. I do own the originals, the ABS covers. I have those indie editions, and I have thought about getting these new ones, but now I don't need to because I got these. If you haven't heard of them yet, if you've never read them, they are a hockey romance series. They're a new adult college hockey romance series that I totally love. I got a couple more books from Avon. They're always so good to me. This one is All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I did recently read this one. I thought it was okay. I didn't like it quite as much as Spoiler Alert, which also wasn't that great either. But this one is another Hollywood romance. It's got an actor hero and a therapist who is hired to keep him in line. And these are some historical romance from Avon too. The Redemption of Philip Thane by Lisa Byrne, which is a Groundhog Day historical romance. The hero, who is of course a rake, he relives the same day over and over, which I've never read before in a historical romance. I've read a lot of them in contemporary romances, but never in historical. And the book is literally about the hero's redemption because apparently he is a jerk. This one is After Dark with the Duke by Julie Ann Long. This is part of her Palace of Rogues series. I have read it. I've read book 1 in the series, but I thought it was okay, so I haven't really continued with the series. But this one does sound good because there's a grumpy Duke hero, and I like the cover because she's wearing this really fluffy coat. I also got The Devil's Own Duke by Lenora Bell, and I don't know if you can tell on the cover, but Lenora Bell's name on the cover is this really pretty shiny purple. I mean, it's nothing like the embossing on some old school historical romances, but at least it's something. They put some effort into this cover. It's got a marriage of convenience. The heroine has to marry the hero in order to save her family's vineyards, and this one has a beautiful cover. It's Gentleman Seeks Bride by Megan Frampton. The cover is giving me so much old school historical romance cover vibes, and I love it. The hero is looking for a wealthy bride, and he makes a deal with the heroine. He will teach her all the ways of the world of intimacy, and she'll help him find a bride. I still haven't read Megan Frampton yet, but I really want to start with this one mainly because of the cover. I also got another historical romance from another publisher. This is from Forever, The Rebel and the Rake by Emily Sullivan, and I gotta say I am not a big fan of this cover. It is so boring. The one bad thing that came from Bridgerton, the Bridgerton new editions, are these very boring covers, and it's such a shame because the first book in the series, the League of Scoundrels series, it had a gorgeous cover, a very historical romance looking cover. So now this one doesn't even match, but whatever. The hero here is a secret agent and the heroine is a lady's companion, and Sourcebook sent me quite a few books. This came in a winter romance package. This is Miss Mistletoe and Mr. Right by Sarah Morgan Thaler. It's got the grumpy sunshine trope and it's set in this small town in Alaska. The blurb actually sounds really funny because the heroine accidentally tranquilizes the hero instead of a moose. This is 12 Men for Christmas by Philippa Ashley, Holidays on the Ranch by Carolyn Brown, Lady Jenny's Christmas Portrait by Grace Burrows, another one of her many historical Christmas romances, and these two, which are surprises, I still haven't opened them yet. The one in the dog wrapping is Puppy Christmas by Lacey Gilmore. It's literally got a puppy on the cover and it's just screaming Hallmark. The heroine runs a puppy training school, which is so cute, and the hero is one of the dog's owners. And the other wrapped book is Nick and Noel's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. It's a best friends to lovers Christmas romance. I also got these two cowboy romances from the publisher How to Cowboy by Jenny Martz and Cowboy Heatwave by Kim Redford. This one is a small town second chance romance, Red River Deep by Carolyn Brown, a paranormal historical romance, A Most Unusual Duke by Susanna Allen, which has a Duke bear shifter hero, and I got this historical romance, Fortune Favors the Duke by Kristen Vaden. The heroine is supposed to marry this Duke who ends up dying and she falls for the new Duke instead. I also got a couple books that some indie authors sent me. This one is Night Wolf by Karina Halley. This one is the spin-off of her Dark Eye series, her vampire paranormal romance series. It's Wolf's book. It's got a human falling for a vampire, which is very forbidden. I got this paranormal holiday romance novella, Preteen Wolf by Lucy Eden. The hero is a shifter, the heroine is human, the single mother of a shifter cub, and both of them have lost their fated mates. Kay Tucker sent me the fourth and final book in her Dirty Empire series, which is a mafia romance series. The series was originally published under her pseudonym, but she recently changed them all to be under her Kay Tucker name. I did read book one in the series, Sweet Mercy, but I've been waiting for the rest of the series to come out before finally continuing. It wasn't amazing, I didn't love it, but I was still intrigued enough to want to continue with the series. And I got the new Daphne Perry book. She always wraps her books so nicely. She has her own sticker and everything. So this is Juniper Hill, the newest book in her Eden series. The heroine moves to this small town in Montana. She is the single mother of a newborn and her hero is her temporary landlord. I got a couple of Christmas gifts from some friends. They sent me some books. This is A Lady of Brooksgrave Manor by Catherine Moon, which is one of my favorite books from last year. I do own a special edition, but I also really wanted the gorgeous original edition too, and I'm so happy to have it. It's a historical paranormal romance, reverse harem, and all the heroes are monsters. And the rest of the gifts are historical romance. This one is a Lorraine Heath historical, one of her Western romances. It's Never Love a Cowboy, and it's got this beautiful step back. The hero is English. He's the second son of an earl, and he moves to Texas to get away from scandal, and he ends up falling for a saloon keeper's daughter. This one is Charmed by Catherine Hart, and it's got this super cool cover because if you angle it right, you can see the heroine on the cover. It's a time travel romance because of course it is. The hero is a Native American from the 1800s, and the heroine is from 1996, and this one is Love Cherish Me by Rebecca Brandoon. I've never heard of her before, but it's a Western historical romance. I also bought some gifts for myself. I finally got these special editions that I ordered from Hello Lovely Box. These are from their vault box, so they're the special editions from 2019 and 2020. This is the special edition of Wicked by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's a new adult paranormal romance, and I think this one was the one that was adapted by Passionflix, arranged by R.K. Lilly. It's got this beautiful cover, and the back is so nice too. This is actually one of my favorite books, one of my favorite groveling romances. It's got the arranged marriage trope. The Studying Hours by Sarah Nye, which is book one in her How to Date a Douchebag series. I really like this one, but I will say book two in the series is my favorite. This is the special edition of Paper Hearts by Claire Contreras. This one is a second chance romance. It was super angsty. I really like this one too. Tinsel by Daphne Perry, which is a small town romance, part of her Lark Cove series. And this special edition of Longshot by Kennedy Ryan. I love everything Kennedy Ryan, but I surprisingly have not read the series yet. I haven't read the Hoops books yet. It's a basketball romance that I will eventually get to. And these last few to wrap up this haul are some non-romances that I got. This is this beautiful copy of The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. It's a debut fantasy book inspired by this Chinese legend. I got this arc called Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May, and it's wrapped so nicely. I'm almost kind of afraid to undo the ribbon because it looks so nice. It's a gothic historical fantasy debut. And this is a classic book, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I got this edition. It's got an introduction by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I actually love this book. It's so messed up and angsty, but that's why I love it. And that's about it for my book haul for December. Let me know your thoughts if you've read any of the books that I mentioned. I'm really just so happy with my special editions. I've been collecting more of them lately, which is not good at all for my wallet, but I need them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!